Going on, guys? In this video we are going to see how to find out the resultant vector analytically. Now let's look at some examples. Let's say we have 100 Newton force acting on this direction, and also we have 200 Newton in this direction making 30-degree angle, and also we have 100 Newton horizontally. Okay, now to find out the resultant vector, first we have to write our xy components. Since we have three vectors, we can write f1x, f1y, and f2x, f2y, and f3x, f3y, and we are going to add them together. We are going to find out fx and fy. Okay, now let's look at the first one. For f1x, we only have the x component, right? So we have x component, that is 100 Newton. Since we don't have any angle or anything, the y component is 0. And for 2x, we have x component, but this is in the negative direction, so you have to put 200 cos 30, but 200 cos 30 is going to give you positive answer because it's actually from here to here it's 150 degree, right? From here to here it's 150 degree, but you can also calculate using 200 cos 30, but if you put 200 cos 150 you will get the correct sign, but if you use 200 cos 30 you are going to get the positive answer, but since this is in negative direction we have to put a negative sign, so this is going to be negative 173.2. and f2y, that's it doesn't matter because if you put sine 150 or sine 30 you will get positive because in this one y component is positive, right? So this is going to be positive answer, and that's going to be 100. And let's look at the 3x. For 3 f3 we don't have any x component, we only have y component, so x component is going to be 0, y component is going to be negative 100 because it's acting downward, so this is going to be negative 100, and all of them are Newton, Newton, Newton. Okay, and here if you add these two together, that's going to give you negative 73.2, and these two are going to give us 0. So this is negative 73.2, this is 0. To find out the resultant vector, we can use the Pythagorean theorem, because if we put fy components, that's going to make a right angle triangle, right? But here we don't have y component, but if we imagine like that, we can directly write the answer. This is going to be the answer, but if we imagine we have a y component, this is going to be fy, this is going to be fx, and the resultant force is going to be the hypotenuse. That can be calculated using Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so r is going to be equivalent to, let's call this one fr. Fr is going to be equivalent to fx square plus fy square, and when we square a negative sign, that's going to be positive, and that's going to be 73.2 square plus 0 square, and we will get 73.2, but this is 180 degree, so this is going to be negative anyway because fx is going to be equal to fr, and this is 180 degree, so this is going to be, fx is going to be the resultant force. Now let's look at a different example. Let's look at another example. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, and the next one, let's say we have a 200 Newton force acting in the x direction, 200 Newton. Let's call this one f1, and let's call another one f2, and let's say this is making 40 degree with this horizontal 40 degree and acting in this direction, and let's say we have another force acting upward 150 Newton. Okay, this is straight 150 Newton. Now if we, well, let's put a value for this one. Let's say this is 300 Newton. Okay, so this is 200 Newton, 300 Newton, 150 Newton. Same approach. First we have to write our xy components. So f1x, f1y, f2x, f2y, and then f3x, f3y. We are trying to find x and y components. Let's say fx Fy. For 1 we don't have any y component, this is straight horizontal, so this is going to be just 200 Newton, and here we are going to have 0, and 2x is going to be 300, again this is going to be cos 40, but we have to put a negative sign, and if you put a negative sign, that's going to be negative 229.8, and f2y we can use 300 sine 40, and it's going to be positive because we have this one in positive y direction, right? So this is going to be positive, and that's going to give us 192.8. And for the third one we don't have any x component, so this is going to be 0, and here we are going to have y component, that's going to be 150 Newton. Now we are going to add all of them together. If we add these together, fx is going to give us negative 29.8, and fy is going to give us 342.8. Now to find the resultant force, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. That's going to be fy square plus fx square, and in our case that's going to be 29.8 square plus 342.8 square, and if you calculate this one, you're going to get 344 Newton. And if you want to know what is the angle that making, here we are going to have the resultant angle in this direction because we have negative 29.8, so our x value is going to be somewhere here, so let's call this one 29.8 in the negative direction, and we have y component 342.8, and if we want to find out this angle theta, we can use theta r is equal to tan inverse fy over fx. Here we have to put the positive values, even though we have negative 29.8, we have to put the positive value in order to get the correct angle. Okay, so if we put positive value, this is going to be tan inverse fy is going to be 342.8 divided by 29.8, and that's going to give us 85.03 degree, and that's going to be the angle of the resultant force. And that's how we do this kind of problems. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.